General Flynn is still under the gun. Judge Sullivan, rather than, remember, Judge Sullivan was ordered by the appellate court to dismiss the criminal charges against General Flynn, which the government wanted to do. Obviously, General Flynn didn't oppose that. He didn't do it. And in fact, he appealed it. I don't even think he can appeal it. I guess that's a technical legal question. He appealed it. So the adventurism, as I call it charitably, against General Flynn, the harassment and abuse of General Flynn continues. And now we just had received documents, the people have, more documents the Justice Department was forced to turn over by General Flynn's lawyer, Sidney Powell, and her legal team, that further confirm that General Flynn was the target of a criminal conspiracy, and we were all victimized by a massive obstruction of justice by the Obama gang. The new documents include a January 25th FBI memo, part of which was released. The FBI advised they believed that Flynn, and this is, by the way, they told everyone, and this was a discussion with everybody, senior officials at DOJ. FBI advised that they believed that Flynn believed what he was saying was true. FBI recognized the discrepancy between the statements and the actual calls, but determined that Flynn was not acting as an agent of Russia. Remember, the whole scam was that General Flynn had lied about the substance of calls he had with the Russian ambassador. It turned out he didn't lie. Of course, we all knew that from the get-go. And they knew it from the get-go. Yet they prosecuted him anyway. And these are documents the Justice Department had been sitting on. Sidney Powell wrote a brief describing the documents. Despite clear evidence of no crime, Sally Yates and Mary McCord, two senior DOJ officials, one was an Obama holdover, the other is Mary McCord, I think she was career, made 2 trips to the White House to get General Flynn fired. And Andrew McCabe met with Vice President Pence to convince him that General Flynn had not been honest with him. Further, after that meeting, FBI agent Strzok and Lisa Page further altered the FBI 302 report of the interview until it met with McCabe's approval and would facilitate a prosecution by the special counsel. So they all knew he didn't lie. And yet they went and told Flynn that he did lie. And General Flynn, being a good soldier, he recognized that his senior leadership, Pence, thought he had lied to him, and Flynn resigned. Mission completed. They took Flynn off the board. And then March 30th, you had a senior official at DOJ, Dan Puente, who, by the way, also signed off on one of those fraudulent FISA warrants. To not view Flynn as a source of collusion. They all knew he was not anything other than a patriot. Yet they coerced him and lied to him and withhold these documents from him. And Judge Sullivan, rather than focus on the fact his orders were violated, because all these documents are supposed to be turned over, not only under his orders specifically, but under the so-called Brady rule, which means that exculpatory information generally is supposed to be turned over. And this was hidden. This was covered up. Where's the Justice Department? This is criminal activity, what's going on here in terms of the prosecution of General Flynn. There's a news report out this week that Durham, excuse me for forgetting his name, Durham may have to punt to any decisions until after the election. That means nothing's going to be done. I've been telling you nothing's going to be done. And we're just getting further and further confirmation nothing's going to be done. Does it mean there'll be no prosecutions? No, it doesn't mean that. Does it mean there won't be, quote, a report? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that senior officials who are responsible for the corruption you're hearing here, you're seeing evidence of here, people like Biden and Obama who were intimately involved in the targeting improperly of Flynn, they won't be questioned, they won't be targeted, they won't be prosecuted. Certainly not by Durham. Now, I know that's upsetting for you to hear, but unless we know what the problem is, we can't address it. And so how do we address the problem? Transparency, accountability. The president should appoint a special counsel separately. I know it may be too late, but we got to at least have the appearance that justice is being pursued here. I don't even see that they're doing anything. Now I'm hearing noise. Oh, well, there were problems with the COVID getting the grand juries. That's just a load of bunk. It's a load of bunk. Durham was appointed in April of last year, and they're now finally admitting to documents that they should have turned over months ago. What, 17? What is it now? April, May, June, July. 15 months later. Now, supposedly the news is President Trump is going to pardon or commute the sentence of Roger Stone. As well he should. He should pardon General Flynn too. I know people say, well, that means he's guilty. No, that doesn't mean he's guilty. It just means he won't have to go through the hell he's been going through with Judge Sullivan anymore. I'd pardon Manafort. I'd even pardon his lawyer, Cohen. And I know Cohen is no angel. None of these people would have been prosecuted for proper, let's make it this way. Do you believe that the Justice Department or Mueller properly calculated the public interest in prosecuting these cases versus deciding whether to allocate resources elsewhere? Of course not. It was all about getting Trump. It was all political. So when all these people get prosecuted and probably would never have been prosecuted but for Trump, I think Trump should pardon them all. Stone, Flynn, Manafort. Yeah, Cohen. Comey referred for prosecution, not prosecuted. McCabe referred to for prosecution, not prosecuted. Obama, not even questioned. Hillary, protected. And Stone's going to go to jail? Fire the president, I'd say not on my watch. I'm not going to let this abuse of power, this abuse of the justice system go by. And General Barr, he thought the prosecution was righteous. That's a problem if he thinks that's the case. How is it righteous when he had to intervene personally to stop the prosecutors from putting him in jail twice as long as the law required? And the other solution is transparency. Get the information out there so the Justice Department is publicly forced into doing the right thing, because they're not going to do the right thing if no one knows the truth about what they're supposed to be investigating. The more information we have, the harder it is for the Justice Department to avoid justice. And that's why we've been adamant in trying to get these documents. Yet this FBI and this Justice Department continues to slow walk these documents. We were just told that there are 8,000 more pages of records about Page and Strzok. We had sued for the records, remember? We're getting all the emails. We have all sorts of revelations from them. And they're releasing them to us at a rate of 500 pages a month. Oh, wait, not 500 pages a month. They're reviewing 500 pages a month. So we don't get all of them. And they say that review won't be complete because they can only do it 500 pages a month, which of course is a big lie. So think about that. It's now July of 2020. 8,000 pages a month means we won't get all the documents that we're supposed to get. Forget about the ones we're going to argue about until 16 months from now. So let's see, that's July of next year plus 4 months. So that's August, September, October, November. November of 2021. And practically speaking, that means another way these things work. It will be 2022 before we know everything that they've withheld from us. And forget about the issues about deleted text messages and things like that. So forgive me for getting a little upset now and again with this administration, with Attorney General Barr, with Director Wray, because they're allowing this cover up to take place. I told you last week we were suing for the unmasking records, the spying on President Trump, the State Department. The State Department's covering up for Obama. Still.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.